So, after 4 months of the arguing and the compromising, the Constitution is finally complete. So after 4 months, the Founding Fathers sat in that room in Philadelphia in the Philadelphia Convention discussing how do we write this plan of government? How can we create something that works? And they argue over it, and they compromise, and they finally complete the Constitution. It is done. But some of the Founding Fathers are not impressed. They're a little worried about the Constitution, and let me tell you why. Some of the Founding Fathers and some people are scared that the Constitution will not protect people's rights. They will not protect the rights of the United States citizens. They're worried that the government will become way too strong. And because there's no place that it's written down about our rights, that the government can just take away our rights and nobody can stop them. These people who are scared of this and who are against the Constitution not having anything about our rights being written in it are called Anti-Federalists. So George Mason and Patrick Henry are the two most famous Anti-Federalists. Patrick Henry, he's this great speaker. And he's this guy who said, "I smell a rat," which means he didn't even go to the Philadelphia Convention. He didn't even go be with the Founding Fathers to write the Constitution, the new Constitution, because he didn't trust the people in there, because he thought that they were going to make the federal government too strong. So you see, Anti-Federalists were scared that the federal government would get too strong and take states' rights and citizens' rights away. So the Anti-Federalist George Mason, he said, "I will not accept the Constitution until we add a Bill of Rights saying that citizens deserve these rights and that the United States government can never take those rights away." Now, the opposite side of the Anti-Federalists was a group who absolutely loved the Constitution. Okay, they loved it, and they thought it was perfect, and they thought there was no problem with it. They thought the federal government would never become too powerful, and that the Constitution was the most perfect document. And these guys were called Federalists. So you have Anti-Federalists who are scared of the Constitution being too strong, and they want a Bill of Rights, and you have Federalists who thinks the Constitution is perfect. Your famous Federalists are guys named John Jay, Alexander Hamilton, and the father of the Constitution, James Madison. Now, after the Constitution is finished, so after the Philadelphia Convention, they're arguing, they're compromising, they finally get everything written down. After it's finished, it is sent out to the states to be ratified. So when they get done with it in Philadelphia, they have to send it to each state. And what ratified means is that each state has to vote and approve the Constitution. So each state has to get their people together. They have to read the Constitution to them, and then those people have to vote if they like the Constitution or do not like the Constitution. If they vote and say that they like it, then that means they ratified the Constitution, and it's officially our plan for government. So they send the Constitution out. And in order to convince the people in all of the states that the Constitution was a great thing, the Federalists, John Jay, Alexander Hamilton, and James Madison, they start writing letters in the newspaper, and these letters become known as the Federalist Papers. Now, the Federalists weren't the only ones to do this. They weren't the only ones to try to convince people that their opinion was right. The Anti-Federalists, George Mason and Patrick Henry and some others, also tried to do this, and they tried to convince people that the Constitution wouldn't be perfect until they added the Bill of Rights, and that no state should ratify the Constitution until a Bill of Rights is added. So, of course, there was arguing, and there needed to be a compromise. So the compromise was that the Federalists promised to add the Bill of Rights if the states would ratify and accept the Constitution. So the Federalists say, "That's fine. We understand your concern. We're tired of arguing about this. We will add a Bill of Rights as long as you accept the Constitution, and it becomes our official plan for government." So they agree, the Federalists agree, the Anti-Federalists agree, and now everyone's happy. So in 1787, the Constitution is ratified. All the states take a vote, they accept it, they ratify the Constitution, and in 1787, the United States of America's plan for government is the United States Constitution. And it's been that way ever since. The end.